What's up, guys, and welcome to Bricks and Dimes. I'm Benyam, joined by my main man, Adamo.
Thanks, Benyam. This final series is on a knife's edge. And here on the show, we're not going to bore you with all that boring post-game analysis. We cook up the hottest debates with those controversial opinions. And guys, wherever you're watching, drop us a comment because I'll be reading them off my phone. Benyam, before we look ahead, my friend, we've got to talk about a massive first three games.
That's right, the Bucks are back in the series, winning Game 3. It's 2-1 to the Suns. As Adamo said, join the conversation using the hashtag Bricks and Dimes. We've got some special guests joining us today to talk through the action. First up off the rank in the rewind, it's Jacinta. Jacinta, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you repping in this NBA Final Series?
Hey guys, I'm just a local retired baller and I'm going to be repping the Bucks in this game, in this series. It's their time to shine, you know. If they're hitting their peak, I think the sun is setting on the Phoenix Suns, so I'm with the Bucks all the way.
Jacinta, as a Bucks super fan, you must be excited that the Greek freak, GIANNIS, is looking like Shaquille O'Neal in these first three games. Is he silencing all those doubters that say he can't do it when it matters?
Oh, absolutely, because I can't hear them. I mean, I'd like to know where they are, because I think they need to go home and with their tails or their singlets between their legs looking like fools, because he's definitely here, and he's definitely here to take this title. It's his time, it's the Bucks' time, and I'm really glad actually that you mentioned Shaq, because I'm trying to think who could actually stop GIANNIS right now. The only people I can think of was Shaq, maybe Karl Malone back in his day, but let's be real, no one out there at the moment is showing any real signs that they are going to stop him.
Well, the one guy who looks like he's probably got the best chance of stopping him was DeAndre Ayton. We saw what he did in games 1 and 2, but GIANNIS was cooking in game 3, especially with that foul trouble. Ayton was out of the game. Now, I know Devin Booker is a star, but is DeAndre Ayton more important to what the Phoenix Suns are trying to do in this NBA Finals? Because GIANNIS was going crazy in game 3 once he went out.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree. Like, full credit to GIANNIS and the Bucks for capitalizing on Ayton's foul trouble there. But I have to agree. I think Ayton is probably more valuable in this series than Booker right now, because he really binds the Suns together, especially with his shot blocking ability. He's an excellent role player as the center. You take him out of it, GIANNIS is just going to walk all over you. And GIANNIS has got like the strength, he's got the mobility, he's got the better footwork than Ayton, no disrespect. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I think Ayton over Booker in this series.
Now, Jacinta, GIANNIS, a fully healthy Greek freak. They are back. They are firing on all cylinders. And a narrative in this final series has been the Suns being a little bit fortuitous, playing teams with injuries. Hey, Benyam, you just got to beat who's in front of you. Can the Suns now finally beat a fully healthy team in this series?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be quite a task. I respect that they're 2-1 up, but what I saw in this last game was these glimpses of, GIANNIS back at his best, but also we saw in the conference final series how well the rest of the Bucks can bind together and still carry this team towards the finals. In this last game, I saw glimpses of both, and if they can manage to balance this and balance GIANNIS's best with the rest of the best that the Bucks have to offer, it's it. Game over. This is the Bucks for the taking.
Huge call.
You heard it here first, game over, but it's only fair that we get both sides of the argument. Jacinta, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Jacinta.
We've got Jacob on the line right now. Talk to us, Jacob. The Phoenix Suns have kind of made their own luck in this postseason, but can they beat this Bucks team looking at their best after game 3?
We'll beat this Bucks team. I mean, yesterday it was expected that the Bucks were going to get this win, game 3, after us winning 2 on a row. Booker had an off game, Ayton's foul trouble, as you guys mentioned. But I'm not concerned in the slightest.
Now, Jacob, you're looking great, can I just say? Suns out, guns out, looking like an absolute beast. Who is the key to steer your Suns to this NBA Finals championship? Who's the man?
Look, it is Booker. Ayton's huge in this series, but I think now Ayton's been as consistent where we know what we're going to get from Ayton. We know he's going to go out there, get 18, 20 points. He's going to shoot 8 of 10, but it rides and dies with Booker. Booker's second game, he shot, I think, 7 from 3 and put the nail in the coffin. And then yesterday he had a bit of a rough one. Watch an injury with Booker, I think. He went out early in game 2 And I saw Cam Johnson and Chris Paul went over and checked in on him, and then he came out for all of the fourth yesterday. That's what I'm concerned about. That's the only concern I have.
Well, there was a few concerns on the timeline yesterday. Twitter was going crazy. But not for Devin Booker, but for Chris Paul. What's it, 12 in a row now he's lost with Scott Foster officiating? Is it a coincidence or do you believe the conspiracy?
Play for Middleton, getting him an ISO, allowing him to be aggressive. Connaughton trying to play aggressively on Chris Paul, falling away from the baseline. Holiday now picking.
Yeah.
In the finals.
We
can't have him.
Yeah, look, we don't like to dabble in the conspiracies. All right, Jacob, before we let you go, my man, give us a prediction. Suns in how many?
Suns in 6. Suns in 6. Suns in 6.
Suns in 6. Jacob, thank you for jumping on, my friend, and go chuck a jump on as well because it's cold. I know you got the guns, but good luck. Good luck to your Phoenix Suns for the rest of the series. Thanks, my man. Now, Benyam, we've had a look back. We've got both sides of the argument there, guys, Bucks and Suns. And guys, drop us a comment wherever you are and get involved using the hashtag bricks and dimes. But now, Benyam, it's time for a little bit more of a light-hearted segment. This is your bread and butter.
This is what I came here to do. Let's get off the court for a second. Let's hit the tunnel. Let's hit the runway. It's time for the drip. Let's check out some of the best pre-game fits from the series. Let's see what we got here. First up is Devin Booker. Living up to his middle name, Mr. Armani. Oh, we got Chris Paul right here. Devin Booker, let's go. Let's go. Come
fresh.
on.
I'll tell you what, Benyam, I can see you rolling into the Mossman Hotel, absolutely steaming wearing that one.
And looking like Suge Knight. I could feel this vibe. All white.
What else do you have for me?
That's all business. Next up, we saw just now Chris Paul. I like the dunks. Little, you know, not as flashy as Devin Booker, but that kind of suits, you know. I'm all about the shoes here for this one.
I'm a little bit disappointed. He looks like a little bit of a substitute teacher. He's redeemed himself with the kicks, but I know CP3 in Youth 16 has been balling out on the court, but I have to give it to Mr. Suge Knight, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker wins this one in a landslide, I think.
All right, are you ready for mine?
All right, hit me. What you got?
I've got you here. He's known for his kicks. I'm going to paint you the picture. It's a sunny summer Sunday afternoon at the Coogee Pavilion, and Adamo is coming in steaming hot, looking like PJ Tucker. Take a look at this. He's got the Adamo look, the long socks, the white kicks. Brilliant. Game over.
That's straight off the jet from Paris Fashion Week, straight into Coogee. But what about this guy? What you got going on here?
Now, I've got a short Willy Wonka with no shirt. He's making up for his lack of game time by this outrageous kid. It's Langston Galloway. Take a look at this. I can see you pulling this one off.
Is that Langston Galloway or Bobby Brown? He's straight off the video set there.
And he's gone for the old Jacob look. The sun's out, guns out. He's got the no shirt. I don't know if I could pull that one off. Who are you going with? I'm going to say my man PJ.
I'm going to roll with Devin Booker. He was all business. He's fit from game 3. He wasn't as good, but the first two he came in with the suits, I'm sticking with Devin Booker. Let's get back to the suits. Let's get back to business.
All right, guys, drop us a comment as well. Let us know who you think won the drip off. And just taking a look at these comments, one coming in from Giuseppe Giuffre. If CP3 wins a ring, is he the greatest Suns point guard of all time, Benja?
A lot of people will say that's blasphemy. Steve Nash, 2 MVPs, 10 seasons there. He took them to the Western Conference Finals, but
I've got even more blasphemy. I think win or lose, I think he already is.
I think he already is.
And I think if he wins a chip here, he goes into the top 3 point guards of all time.
I think if he wins a chip, you can start making a lot of arguments for Chris Paul.
Look, he's in the top 2. He's in the top 2, I think. But we could go on about this all day. Guys, we've reviewed the action. We've had a little bit of the drip segment going on. Now it's time to look ahead. This is my type of segment. Get the LeBron chalk out. Let's go. This is the hype. And to do the hype with us, we are bringing in ESPN's very own Turkish tornado, Olgun. Olgun, we just finished the drip segment, and now we have you looking like best dressed. You've outshone us here. You're looking fantastic, my friend. First of all, Olgun, I just want to say, are we going to see a road team win one in the playoffs this series?
I think we will, and in my mind, that team is going to be the Phoenix Suns in Game 4. Right, they're the team that have the pieces to get it done on the offensive end. I trust Devin Booker in a Game 4 to get the job done. I trust Mikal Bridges to sort of get out of that one-game funk and get the job done too. DeAndre Ayton is one of the most skilled bigs in the world. They have the pieces to get it done. I trust the Phoenix Suns on the road more than I trust the Milwaukee Bucks on the road. I've got Phoenix taking this game 4.
All right, let me ask you this, Olgun, because the finals and the playoffs, it's all about momentum. What the Bucks were able to do on their home floor, we know they are phenomenal on their home floor. Do you think that they maybe turned the tide a little bit in that previous game and now maybe got the momentum of the series, or you think the Suns have still got it after going up 2-0?
Do you know what I think is an interesting factor here? We've got a 2-day break between game 3 and game 4. That's an entire 24 hours is a lot of time to get rid of momentum, right? And this Bucks team, they've looked a little bit shaky. I don't trust what they do on the offensive end. And so, what is momentum if you can't actually carry that over? I feel like this extra day of break, which is very weird to have, when you're staying in one location, I feel like that might be something that might sink the Bucks.
Yeah, and Olgun, a lot has been made about these teams' runs to the finals. They've been playing teams that are injured. Look, in my opinion, you've just got to beat who's in front of you. Who has had the most impressive finals and playoff series as a whole, in your opinion?
Look, on one hand, you've got Devin Booker and Chris Paul and those Phoenix Suns getting past LeBron James, right? Even without AD in that last game and AD was hobbled, you still got to give credit to them for getting past LeBron, right? Because that's not easy to do. I don't think anyone has done that in the past decade other than a final series, right? But, you've got to give it to Giannis and that Milwaukee Bucks team getting past the Nets in 7, right? They look like they were out of that game. They got past them. They've had the run with the less injuries, right? And as much as it doesn't, in my opinion, mean an asterisk, and I know we're going to talk about that, I still think that the Bucks had that less interrupted run. They went up against a Hawks team that was, rolling a little bit. I think the Bucks had the harder run to this point.
Now, Olgun, we've spoken about the stars in this series. We know what they're going to deliver, but I'm more interested in the role players, especially given that home court, proves to be such an advantage. Which role guys do you think are really going to make an impact in this final series? Who's going to pop off and have a huge game?
Well, I spoke about Mikal Bridges, and I feel weird calling him a role player because I think he's, an almost star. But I think he's a guy who needs to step up in this next game, in these next games, in order for the Suns to do anything good here, right? He had 15 shots in game 2. He had 4 shots in game 3. I want to see him in those double-digit shot attempts. I'm also looking at a guy like Brook Lopez. Think back to game 3 and how did the Bucks make that run? It was those Kaminsky minutes, right? The Suns are just not very good when DeAndre Ayton's not on the floor. If the Bucks can do a good job of giving Brook Lopez the ball, allowing him to be assertive, maybe put DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble again. That might be a recipe for success going forward. Give me some Brook Lopez minutes going forward. Throw the ball into him, right? Let's get DeAndre Ayton out of the game. And let's see what happens.
And one player I want to bring up, Olgun, before we let you go. He's such a rocks and diamonds player. 1 minute, he looks like he shouldn't even be starting. The other minute, he looks like an MVP. It's Middleton. Is he a good enough number 2 to steer the Bucks to a championship?
Look, I think he is a good enough number 2, right? We've seen how elite he can be on the offensive end, and he's just a fine defender as well. Whether he can get it done on the road is something that's yet to be seen. I'm a big evidence guy, right? I'm a journalist. I'm a guy that if you go and prove to me that you can do something, then I believe you can do it, right? We've seen him have big games, right? We've seen him have big performances on a big stage. Not this stage though. Can he do it in a final series? I'm yet to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes all the way to 7. And a big part of that is because Chris Middleton is so effective.
Olgun, before we let you go, my man, give us a prediction in this series. How do you see it happening?
I'm going to throw a curveball at you, I think. I think it's Suns in 5. However, if the Bucks win game 4, then I've got the Bucks in 7. If we go to a 7th game, if it goes to 7, I'm rolling with the best player on the floor. As much as Chris Paul and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton have been amazing, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player on the floor. In a game 7, I'm going with him, but my gut tells me it's Phoenix in 5.
Thanks for jumping on, Olgun. Enjoy the rest of the series. Keep looking sharp as well, my friend, and enjoy the basketball. Thanks for jumping on.
Game 7. What do you reckon?
That's a huge one. Look, we'll tell them about our predictions a little bit later, but now we've had everything. we've had the Bucks fan, the Suns fan, the journalist, and it's only fitting that the next person we bring on is a self-proclaimed LeBron lover. Vass, you're a little bit of an oddball here. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, mate, diehard Hawks fan through and through from back in the early 90s. So I'm a huge Hawks fan, devastated.
You should be very proud of your team, man.
No, mate, I was going. We had the championship this season. We had the championship, but look, obviously it was a little shorter than I expected. But yeah, look, they can only do so much with a guy that's 5'4". So I'm pretty proud of Trey and the team, and yeah, we'll see where we go next year.
You guys had a great run through this playoff series with the Hawks. They were everybody's favorite team, but
except Knicks fans.
Well, when you look, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But when you look at the path the Suns took, the path that the Bucks took to the NBA Finals, who do you think's had the tougher road to get here?
Absolutely, the Bucks, without a doubt. This whole season for the Phoenix Suns, let's put an asterisk on it. As much as everyone talks about the Lakers and the asterisk, I would make a call if this season itself was healthy. The Suns wouldn't even make it to the playoffs. Everyone in the Western Conference was injured throughout the whole season, let alone get the seedings. And then what happens? AD gets injured. So let's call it what it is. This Suns team would have not made it past 5 games. Beyond the Lakers in the first series, and credit to them, they've had a healthy run. Good on them. They're taking full credit for their value. But this team, even if there was one team ahead of them that was healthy, they'd be a forgotten team and back into lottery picks following season.
Suns fans, blow up Vass now in these comments. Drop us a comment, get us involved in the discussion. Vass, I want to talk about the Greek freak, Giannis. How much has he impressed you so far, and is he the MVP of this series?
MVP series, without a doubt. Like the Suns themselves, they can't even. Suns fans, I just listened to Jake before this. Suns fans don't even know who their best player is. He's talking about Devin Booker, who drops 10 points. We've got Chris Paul that brings them into this series. Let alone, DeAndre Ayton, who's pretty much the biggest gravity I've seen since an astronaut heading for Earth. Like, the Suns fans themselves don't even know who their best player is. Giannis has been remarkable. He put on a historic performance against, the Nets. Even though KD was great, I have to admit, Giannis himself was phenomenal on both ends. And let's call it. We haven't even spoken about this yet. Giannis, he had a leg injury coming into this series. It's 2 games he took him to recover. Now that he's healthy, they're playing a healthy team, and I'm going to be very, very, confident in my backing that the Bucks are going to win this in 6.
Ooh,
Bucks in 6. Shout out Brandon Jennings. Bucks in 6.
there you go. What do you think, Benyam? Give me your prediction.
I want to see this go as long as possible, so I'm going to go with Suns in 7. I think on their home floor, that's too dangerous. What about you? Who are you rolling with?
Here's my prediction. I think the home team wins every game up until Game 7, and then the Greek freak steps up, silences the haters. I love seeing great people do great things. Bucks in 7.
You heard it here first.
Benya, Vass, thank you for jumping on, my man, and good luck to your Hawks next season as well.
Guys, that's Bricks and Dimes. Thanks for joining us today. There's plenty more NBA action to get to as the final series rolls on. And remember, you can join in the conversation using the hashtag Bricks and Dimes. Let us know what you want to see on the show moving forward. But until next time, Adamo.
It's been a pleasure, my man. Thanks, guys.